It's Stevie K, your box-ticking comedian. How are you, folks? Well, I tell you what's been happening in my life lately. I've got myself a new girlfriend. Yay! Well, I went round to see him. We had our first argument, which wasn't good. Say, oh. And she started accusing me of seeing somebody else. I thought, Christ, she's starting to sound like my wife. Well, we made up and there she was in the kitchen and she had this courgette and she said, Steve, what would you like me to do with this? I said, chop it up, put it in the pasta bake, it'll be fantastic. Well, later that night, we were on the bed and we were doing it doggy style. I said, what do you think? She said, it's okay, but his breath stinks. She's got two dogs. She's got a pit bull and a shih tzu. And we're expecting pups. Isn't that fantastic? One thing, the shih tzu is going to make a wonderful father. I said to her, when we have the pups, we'll put an advert in saying £500 each, shit pits for sale. Well, we were on the settee and we were watching The Apprentice and she said to me, hey Steve, I wish you were like Alan Sugar. I said, that's no problem. You're fired. So that was it. Me down to just the wife now. I went back to her and there she was as per normal, laptop on her knee, buying more shoes. I said to her, you got more shoes than a Holocaust museum. Well, I had to get on the desktop, look for a new girlfriend. And I went on this dating site and a girl messaged me and she had filters on every picture. I actually said to her, you really shouldn't be smoking them down that far, darling. Well, when we met, she had teeth like Shane McGowan and a breath to match. She had a big question mark about her. She had, well, I say question mark, her back was like a question mark. It was like that. She had a bigger hump on her back than a molehill. And we were chatting, and at the end of the night, she said to me, Steve, would you like to see me again? I said, well, to be honest, you're ginger. Your breath stinks, you've got a massive hump on your back, and your dress sense is worse than Vicky Pollard's. I said, yeah, of course I'd like to see you again. And I thought, at least she's an improvement on the wife. Well, the next day, we went to see Star Wars, the original movie. And I tell you one thing, it wasn't just Luke Skywalker that got shot into space. Well, I was looking at the Star Wars bar and I felt sure in there I saw two of my ex-girlfriends. Well, I was watching the news a bit later on that night and I was watching all the trouble in Gaza. It's terrible. And the leader of Hamas, he reminds me of Rishi Sunak. They're both anonymous, they've both got no policies, and both of them are only ever going to fight one election. Well, I've been trying a new sport, wheelchair basketball. And God knows, I cannot get that wheelchair through that little hoop. I don't know how they do it, I really don't. I took up bungee jumping, went for a bungee jump over the Humber Bridge. It took the frogman 3 hours to get my wheelchair back. Well, I went to see Sheffield United, my team, at the weekend. And their players remind me of me. None of them can use their feet. Sheffield United, I'll tell you about them. They are so bad. I have more points on my driving licence. Well, later that night, after the football, later that night, I met up with a friend and we went to the pub and we had 8 pints and he drove me home, which was a big mistake, I can tell you. As within about 5 minutes, there was this big flashing light and all I could see was police behind us. The policeman stopped the car and he said to my mate who was driving, "Come on, out the car, walk in a straight line." My mate, he was there trying to walk in a straight line. And the copper said to him, "Hey, you're staggering." I said, "Hey, you're not so bad yourself, officer." He's just about to arrest us and I said to him, "Would you possibly accept a bribe?" And being a very good member of Her Majesty's Police Force, of course he accepted a bribe. Well, he was more over the limit than my credit card, so we really did get away with that one. We were more off the hook than a fisherman catching blancmange. Well, that's the story of my life lately. Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Good day, everyone, and enjoy yourself. Stevie K, your box ticking comedian.